to be playing at their absolute best going into this best of 3. Have fun's coming up from Faith Beyond straight off the bat. Of course, Aster will return the favor. This should be a really fun matchup. Like, you've got these big names like Fade and Faith Beyond that can essentially carry their teams on their own if they have to. Not all the time, of course, but they can really make some magic happen when they fall behind.
Definitely, and of course Fade is on that Rubik. He has been a menacing Rubik to play against. Every single time, he just gets what he needs, counter fights quite well. It'll be interesting to see whether or not Ehome will respect that as much as they should. They're going to have to watch out for that Winter's Curse usage from Y. Be always aware of where Fade is, so otherwise these team fights will fall flat if you give Aster that moment.
30 seconds to battle.
Looks like both teams are going to set up for those standard 2 bounty runes. Doesn't look like there's going to be really any contention in game number 1. They just want to play it safe, just respect each other's drafts. Be interesting to see if Aster keep up with this tri-lane. I mean, I imagine they'll try to go for a first blood here with the Rubik and the Mars combination. Just having the Scan Blast from Baboka will help with the damage output that you will need for that first blood. Baboka, are you going to stick around? No, he's going to start walking down to the bot lane. He doesn't want to waste any time. It's to make sure that SCCC does have a good game on that morph.
Yeah, it's going to be the key thing for Aster, right? They can win out every single lane, but if your morphling falls a bit too far behind, then that space really doesn't mean too much, and you can already see Fate Beyond just damaging these creeps just a tad to make last hitting just a bit easy for yourself when they do finally end up in that lane.
Ehome, at the very least, will be maintaining a tri-lane for now. They'll leave their pos 1 Sylar up at the top by himself, so Sylar is a little bit exposed, but Ehome looking to make some kind of first blood attempt as Y is just hiding in the tree line, waiting for the right moment. Sin Q, though, getting very low to Baboka. With only level 1 Bash to the Deeps, I don't really know if you can go for this. I'm pretty sure Faith is going to have to wait for level 2 if they are going to attempt the first blood, and they won't. Y will just TP back up, and he'll just make sure that Sylar gets a good laning stage.
Yeah, it's a bit optimistic to try to force that tri-lane out. Of course, the EXP starvation would have been very big for all these heroes, especially at Winter Wyvern. You want to have a good timing in that 6. They do just opt to bring Y up to harass out Fade.
XXS has already had a pretty nice time. 5 last hits, 1 deny up against Sylar's 5-0. Fade just keeping his distance from Y right now. But Winter Wyvern at level 1 is very vicious. XXS getting started with his bulwark, just blocking all this damage off from Sylar. We'll still cop some on the back end.
It's a pretty early level in that bulwark. You would expect something like the spear level 2 to play around with that lift, but it doesn't look like Aster wants to play overly aggressive in this lane.
Quite interesting. I mean, you've got the lift into the spear combination. I'm not sure why they'd let that go. Sylar gonna really start harassing XXS out quite hard. XXS gonna have to start burning through a lot more of those tangos. It's a bit concerning though. Like, I thought that's why you'd go for the Mars Rubik in the first place, but they're not gonna really play that way at all.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bit rough if they do give this troll too much space. It's almost the same story with a morph, except the troll does come online just a touch faster. So if Sylar gets that free farm space, then it already does feel like somewhat of a free lane right now. It's going to be hard to contest this troll's farm, and he does tend to play active early on. So that's something to watch out for Aster if they're really trying to invest in slowing him down.
We saw Baboka at the bot lane getting very low on the Snapfire, almost getting taken down as that first blood, but he does manage to barely get away. Try to go for a creep pull, but well, in fact he's just stacking up for now. Of course, in the mid lane, the one lane we haven't really talked about, nothing to say, versing the Razor, that is Chuan. Chuan having, of course, a pretty nice time. 18 last hits, 11 denies. This is a very Razor favored kind of lane up until Nothing to Say gets those levels up. Nothing to Say as well, he's not going for that laser rocket build we saw yesterday, but rather he is going to go ahead and max out that March.
Yeah, it's gonna be a bit of a slow game for him. He's gonna have to dip into that jungle. No way to really force Tron out. Of course, the Razor is just gonna be happy, especially since, again, he's prioritizing the March this time, going 2-0-2. So he does have the laser for some soft defense and for some last hitting, but Chuan should have a pretty easy time here down mid.
Boca gonna start rotating over, may just go for another stack, though no, he'll leave it be. Sees nothing to say, does steal the power rune. It was nice regen rune. Boca just picking the right spot to be at the right time, and he'll make his way back down bot. Still no first blood though at 4 minutes in. Both teams, they've been trying, but they've also been playing a little bit passive, just trying to get that farm up for now. All these supports falling so low, just neither side being able to finish them off yet.
Yeah, we've seen this a couple of times yesterday as well. The tendency has been to slow down, although some harassment on SynQ, but yeah, like the teams just play it safe, especially when you have these farm heavy cores on your safe lane. You're not going to take that risk, because once you lose that trade, your lane is just a mess.
Boca does get stunned up. He threw the cookie out, but the stun went through, and now with the bash of the deeps, that will be the first blood for Faith Beyond. Great setup there from him, and why even finding XXS up the top lane. And I mean, I kept looking over to Cylon, the damage he was dealing towards XXS on that Mars. It was only a matter of time before they would find that that kill up top, and well, that's exactly what they did. Why picking it up on the Wyvern?
Yeah, they've got a nice creep pull as well to balance out these lanes, take away at least some of the potency of that double range creep wave, and that's going to be rough. Aster needs to contest this when they want to maintain their EXP growth, and they will. XXS. Walks in.
Mid lane though, Fade, rotation, nothing to say. He's going to be in big trouble. Static Link is there. Chuan, do you dive to T1? You may not need to. Nothing to say. He threw the laser out. It was all too late. That's what you're going to be careful about. Fade is known to rotate very, very early. Regardless of what hero he plays, we'll find a very, very important pick.
That's going to be something that Ehome's not going to be too happy about, although down bot, SCCC.
Getting low, strength morphing is there. Faith Beyond bash the deeps does so much damage. He'll wait for it, but the puck was already waiting. SynQ, he cops the stun from the cookie. They'll go after Baboka instead. It's the much easier pick-off to make. Baboka slowly trying to run away. Orb will eventually connect from SynQ, and they do get the kill.
Yeah, it's a better trade for Aster to give away. Of course, that's just your support. SCCC does get to live for a little bit longer in Ehome. Support rotations out just for support. Still not going to be too happy, although why now? Looks like he is going to be hanging out there in the bot lane. They want to try again to SCCC.
Why the hell not? He will get split up by Baboka. I think SCCC may still be a bit too hard to go for with that strength morph, but we'll see. They've got the level 2 bash the deeps now on Fate. Why? Gonna start moving in. They'll go after Baboka instead. He's just the easiest target. In fact, never mind, they'll switch to SCCC. Both of them have an escape mechanism. They both do get out. But more importantly for Ehome, they are slowing down the farm. And as I say that, Chuan, speaking of slowing down farm, does get Sylar up the top lane.
Yeah, a really early smoke rotation coming out here from Aster to get that troll kill. Fade once again, just forcing these early moves out to slow down Ehome's progression, keeping things in a pretty tight spot, right? Like SCCC, he can be pressured down bot, but he hasn't died. Whereas Sylar, he's going to be unhappy with that one death, of course, just going to be slowing down his farm that much more, and that is going to give XXS some space to find a lot more in this Morris.
He definitely needs it. Although he's got some last hits, it just feels like he's falling a little bit behind on that Mars. Still, he'll have the space. Chuan still rotating around the dire side jungle, trying to find another target. Sylar, he'll just commit to the jungle now. He's had enough of that lane. Doesn't want to risk dying again like that. Chuan is just going to hide behind the tree line. He knows they're around there somewhere. Still a bit risky with no vision.
Yeah, there was a really good forward ward there. It does finally get spotted out by Y, so this will allow Sylar just to secure that safe jungling farm, although that's a very early time for the jungle. Still, the troll can clear these camps fairly well. Not going to be too rough for Sylar. Would rather have that lane farm, but they just can't secure those lanes now that Mars is 6. The threat is way up there.
back down bot. They've beyond 3.1k net worth, doing very well. So far past SCCC on the morph. Top lane, looks like there may be another gank. Juan moving in. There's the arena being dropped by XXS, and it looks like Y will end up going down. Juan, with these rotations on a mid-razor, I haven't seen them this early before. Sylar, he's going to move in and try to harass them away from that tier 1 tower. Sylar, he's going to stick around for now, but he does have to be very wary of that static link that will be off cooldown in 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's not too good for Ehome right now. The aggression from Aster is definitely paying off. While all of that happens, SCCC still gets a free time down bot. He's not forced to jungle out. The only thing that Ehome has going for themselves, I suppose, is nothing to say. He hasn't been pressured all too much. He's still farming up towards those BOTs. Should have them at a pretty decent time. Not the fastest time, mind you, but all things considered, with how the lanes are, still can be pretty relevant and unchecked if Aster doesn't manage to apply that pressure onto the Stinker.
Well, I believe that's why they were trying to maintain that dire jungle control so early on from Aster, because they know the Troll and the Tinker need that jungle farm. So if they had maintained the control, perhaps they could have denied that farm away. Although top lane, speed will be there on the Troll, but XXS could be in trouble here. Sylar, do you want to keep going after this? No, they do not. Back off Xingqiu, he found the boundary room anyway. Remained at a 3-3. Very, very slight net worth lead there for Ehome. Just less than 1k. Nothing too special. Both teams essentially just going to keep farming up. But as I say that, Juan will come in with the fade on the smoke. They're going to try for this Troll again. They'll find a Wyvern Courier and they'll go after Wyvern instead of the Spear. Does connect but doesn't latch onto a tree. It doesn't matter though. Y is a way easier kill than the Troll would have been.
Definitely, Aster is still going to be fairly happy about that. I believe that will give them access to this tier 1, which they have been trying to force out anyway. But you do see Ehome. They've smoked up with Xingqiu and Sylar. They want to make a move on SCCC.
Feels a bit early for Sylar to rotate, but I guess with the battle trance he could risk it. It's CCC though, as long as he strength morphs he should be okay, but Xingqiu couldn't quite get there in time to silence. As CCC realizes they're there, he'll just TP straight into the mid lane now. It can keep farming up. And Ehome essentially kind of wasting the position 1 time. Like Sylar's just probably not worth his time to rotate like that.
Definitely not. Their smoke did break under the ward, so that did give CCC enough time to back off. And as you mentioned, he's just farming up that mid lane. You can see Aster is invading that dire jungle, so there's no safe spot to be in now if you're a core of Ehome.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Around arena, full land. They found Fate beyond. The Slider falling so darn low, and it looks like they are going to find him. Though no, Fate will get the stun off. Try to run. He won't get away. There's the curse coming up, but it was a little bit late. They'll get XXS on the after that, but they'll lose Xingqiu on the puck. Sylar's still trying to chase with that battle trance, but now without it, he's a sitting duck. Is CCC just going to start auto-attacking him down? They should have the damage, and they do. Fade with the triple kill on the Rubik. They'll back off now, but Aster just looking great going into this game 1.
His early aggression definitely paying off. Even movements from SCCC cleaning up these kills very early on in the morph. In contrast, Ehome, just not getting as much done. Sylar on that Troll, suffering hard now with all these early deaths. He's way behind in farm this early on, and he's going to need to play catch up. They need to secure this jungle right back to their side, Ehome, to get the farm they need. But these forward wards from Aster, not going to make it easy to find that a farm.
Definitely isn't. Ehome kind of playing into Aster's hand. Just not farming up, trying to take these fights. But they do have this advantage just based on draft. Aster will back off for now. They'll give a bit of space over to Ehome. Ehome desperately have to take it. He's nothing to say, does have the BOTs up now on the Tinker. Just needing that Blink Dagger to get really effective. Should have that up within a minute or two. once that blink dagger's up, I think things are going to get substantially harder for Aster.
Yeah, that's just going to allow Nothing to Say to pop in wherever he wants in these fights. Of course, he has to be completely aware of the mobility that Aster does have. Again, that's the more thing, not the easiest thing to jump into. In fact, SCCC could just jump into the backline early on. We have seen him play really aggressive on hero, so Nothing to Say has to always be conscious about that one. And of course, the Mars, like he can just spear into the trees or just drop the arena if he knows the Tinker's around. Not gonna be too safe for Nothing to Say. So again, it's all about that control right now. Ehome, they've got to hold on. Like without that mid-tier 1, they've got to make sure this mid-tier 1 stays around, because once it's gone, that jungle's just completely out of control, right? Like Aster will just play in that area as they have been, and you will have to pour a lot of resources to make sure that your troll can farm up. I think that's the pertinent point now. Our Tinker's doing just fine, but Sylar still behind even Fate Beyond's farm.
It's a rough spot for Sylar. He's trying to go after that Diffusal Blade. It does indicate, again, he does want to get aggressive early on this troll. Please find the Diffusal before you do. They are going to try and force in that bot T1. You do have XXS there in the tree line waiting, and he does have the Arena of Blood available, but it looks like XXS throws the spear and just TPs out. He understands the tower's going down, and I don't think they mind anyway. They already found that top T1 off Ehome. It looks like they'll just try and pressure the mid T1 instead.
It's going to be a hard thing to do, of course, with the Tinker clearing out the wave, but they do have the damage, they do have the numbers. Still, Ehome pumping up.
They are ready to team fight once again, but Aster has already found T1. There's no way for Ehome to jump into this. They don't have a blink on the park to really get a great dream call off. Ehome's just going to have to bide their time. Aster just going to keep doing what they're doing. They're buying enough time for SCCC to just rush at Lincoln's, and oh, he's getting there. They'll smoke up Aster. Y is probably going to be the easiest target. He'll drop a ward and actually avoids the smoke gank. They thought he was on the other side. Y counting his blessings as he runs away. They may find Faith Beyond, but no Faith. He's just running out as well now. And Aster, bit of a failed smoke attempt. Y with curses there. Fade won't bother with the lift. I think Ehome will probably just try and wait it out until the Diffusal's up on Sylar before they try to take another team fight.
Oh, they don't even find the obs ward at one spot as well. Drop the sentry, didn't find the right spot for it.
They actually do go for a fight. Dream Call is onto Fate. Can he get a stun? Nice bit now in Arena coming up from XXS, but there's the curve. Full sync Q going down, and now the kisses flying in. Just melting two of them already. Y's in trouble. He goes down to SCCC. In fact, it was Twan who got the kill. The Tinker spam coming out. It does not matter though, it's all too late. And Ehome, I've got to tell you, John, they look a little bit uncoordinated going into these team fights.
They're forcing these fights out in very rough spots. They did give away the Dream Coil as well onto Fade, so he's going to have that tool up and running in the next team fight. And that disruptive counter initiation from Aster, just turning that initiation from Ehome on its head. The Arena getting dropped early on with the blink from XXS, just paying off immediately. And Ehome now, they've got to be a bit more cautious. I can understand why they're feeling hot under their feet. They want to get more done.
Top lane, XXS didn't know he was right there in front of him. Didn't try for a blind spear, and well, Nothing to Say will very, very luckily get away from that. Close call though, for sure. There is a blink available on XXS as well, so he could always make that jump if he needs to. But mid lane, another smoke will come out. Sylar has the Diffusal now, and they're going to go straight into that Roshan pit, so they want to try and gain a bit of momentum by just taking this Roshan with the Corrosive Haze. And Aster, they seem to be aware as XXS now moving in. He has the Arena. This isn't great for Ehome if the fight gets started. And Twan, he'll move in. Fade, he'll be the first target. The Dream Core comes out. Where's that Arena? XXS still not throwing it out. Fade, he'll go down, and Twan is falling very, very low. Nothing to Say. He shows up, but he runs out of the Arena. XXS, the timing wasn't great. They'll go after the Troll instead. Battle Trance is not available. Sylar, though, he's just manning up with the Battle Trance that's left, and he'll run out of there alive, apparently, as XXS falling too low, but he will walk out as well. So they'll lose Chuan. Curse is there on the snap. Rockets to fly out. Sylar, he wants to move in. They're a bit afraid of that high ground, but Xingqiu is not. He'll give them the vision. He's still going after that snapfire, but Boca has the ultimate, but can't really throw it out at the moment. He will go down to nothing to say. And perhaps now Ehome can take the Roshan.
Yeah, that's pretty much every big spell being dropped by Aster in that team fight, except for he kisses. It never came out there. Still, will look like a pretty good initiation for Aster. Doesn't take off for those Xingqiu.
The photo brace was there, but it will not matter. XXS, he's going to try and disrupt this Roshan. They have Chuan back up. They'll move in.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They just want to make sure it doesn't go to the way of Ehome. It's not like Aster are really interested right now in that Rosh. Ehome definitely not going to move, though. They know how low that Roshan is. At the very least, they do force Aster to stick around the Roshan pit. This does allow nothing to say to push out that bot lane. So Aster's got to make a decision. Do you want to defend? Do you want to just play security around the Rosh pit? They'll defend one down. S-Triple-T, he'll be the one on the Morphling. The scan flying out now as well, just to make sure nobody is in the pit. Ehome, it looks like they may just try and settle for that top tier 1 instead.
Yeah, they are all pumped up. It looks like they are going to be walking on the vision, though. There's a lot of words here from Aster that will tell them where exactly Ehome is, so they've got to be a bit careful about this fight.
Not to mention Chuan.
Oh boy.
Damage to get a nice spear off, and well, here comes the kisses. There's not really a way to survive that once you get lifted up as Y now. Going to be chased down by Chuan. They should have the damage. There's the curse flying out, but
oh no,
attacking the Mars.
Fade.
Find 2 for nothing.
Fade got the Winter's Curse because he threw it out. He couldn't cast anything else. He was caught out. So that's going to be the Winter's Curse now, available for Aster in these next few fights. Ehome have to be very cautious about what he's facing here.
It'll be a very, very dangerous game for Ehome for the next few minutes while that curse is available on that Rubik. Ehome definitely don't have the option for the Roshan any longer, that's for sure. Aster, understanding this, will happily go back to farming without the worry of trying to sneak it again. S-Triple-C looking for that Ethereal Blade next on the Morphling. Already has the Lincoln Sphere up. Does buy the Ghost Scepter, so just needs an Eagle Song now. Aster, I mean, things are going very swimmingly. Like Ehome, I mean, I guess they've got the high ground defense in Tinker, but they are going to try and make a play. Smoked up. Couldn't quite find a target. The wrap around the other way now. Still Aster maintaining that high ground defense. Looks like Ehome will just give up on it. The smoke was going to wear off pretty soon anyway. Just nothing really going the way of the Dire.
Yeah, not finding those pickoffs they want. While that smoke is up and running, of course, Sylar's not farming it, so he is still way behind the other corpse right now on the map, even behind XS on that Mars. He's only about Fate beyond. Now, Fate, yeah, his farm isn't great either, but he plays the sacrificial pause tree. And when you're right next to that sacrificial pause tree as a farming core one, not a good sign here. Sylar, he's been holding on to that diffusal for a while. They haven't found the biggest kills just yet, although why?
Boca gonna find it. Y gonna be in trouble. Spear will connect, and not really sure what the point of taking that outpost was. I mean, it's nowhere near the 10-minute interval. Perhaps he thought it was just gonna be a free outpost, but it does cost Y his life.
It's rough. At the very least, it's not the biggest kill for Ehome to lose out on. Better the Winter Wyvern than the Troll. Still, you are bleeding space here towards Ehome. And Ehome's equally happy to farm up, and they're waiting for that E-Blade coming out on SCCC. He's just about to finish it up, just about halfway there. Of course, the BKB is going to be up and running from Chuan, so you can't pull up the Razor anymore. In fact, you won't even be home, although...
Mid lane, or top lane I should say, Arena comes down. The Dream Core was thrown out by the Puck. Xingqiu couldn't get the job done though, and the XXS now with the lift from Fade. Gonna be able to easily take down this Puck. No. Curse comes out. It doesn't matter though, Xingqiu, he's orbiting away, he's falling very low, but he does manage to get out. But Boca will be the one that drops, and Fade now, he'll get lasered down by Nothing to Say. Massive turnaround there from Y. The Curse, just perfect timing.
Absolutely. It looked iffy for Ehome for a while, especially since you did see our Tinker get healed stuff there. They did not follow up on Nothing to Say, though, so that just allowed him to come back in, refreshed up, and cast all of his spells. The BKBs, you know, they're not done yet. Although it should be done now for Razor, but that was, he needed it in quite prior.
Top tower has fallen.
Thinking about the Roshan again. Why? Going into the high ground. He won't get speed into a tree though. They'll try and burst him down. He does have Cold Embrace, and Ehome is running up the hill. They're going up the XXS. They've got the lockdown for now. Still Cold Embrace will be stolen. Faded now. The kills fly out. Y goes down, but they found Chuan and Fade. They really want that Mars, and that's exactly what they'll take. Because Y is back, and now SCCC. What are you doing there, sir? He doesn't have his Ethereal yet. He was only a few hundred gold off. They'll lose Baboka again. And now the Roshan, going to be a very, very free Roshan for the side of Ehome.
Aster, they blew so many resources in that last fight. The big one was the Razor. He went in with his BKB. It's down to 9 seconds now. That was his first charge gone, and counteracted just by a bash of the deep from Fate Beyond, of course, which goes through that BKB. So that is something to watch out for. Like, you're saved from the Tinker. You're not saved from man fighting the Slardar.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I'm kind of shocked Aster didn't just wait for the Ethereal Blade to be available in SCCC. He was literally 200-300 gold off. He'll have it now. Why? Again gonna get caught out mid lane, does get blown up. Nice little pick up there for the Morphling. So Aster going to get back to it. They don't want to bleed too many kills away here to this Ehome side, as they have essentially given away all that net worth lead that they had acquired back to the side of the tile.
And this is giving time for Sylar to come back into this game. Now in number 3 in the court after being stuck in number 5 for quite a fair bit. He's up there now. He's got his BKB up and running. Of course, with that Aegis as well, it just makes it harder to deal with Sylar with that BKB in his second life. They're probably not able to burst this guy down. And Aster is going to have to play a bit more cautiously now, as Ehome has found a bit of a grip back in. Right? You've got the Dagon tree on Nothing to Say. He can burst the backline quite fine, although if Sylar's not careful here.
Gets a lift. Chuan is there with the link and the spear into the cliff, and they blow him up. That's the Aegis. Just going down. Sylar, I mean, he'll be fine. They won't go for the secondary life. But a bit of a waste. They're still going to try and push in that T1 though. Aster not willing to just allow this to go down. They will defend. They even put the repair kit on it. And Ehome just forced to back.
I love this play coming out from Aster. They see one slight overextension from Sylar. They punish it very hard. They still save that tier 1 mid. So they've got great control over their own jungle. And Ehome now have to rethink just how far they can push Sylar. Even with that BKB, even with the Aegis, still a very vulnerable target if he's not careful. They need a lot more information on the map before allowing the troll to even just take a lane. And he dips back to that jungle.
We'll have a quick look at that win probability, and well, it's pretty even right now. It was sitting around 70% the way of Aster a couple minutes ago. Now at 48% for Aster, 52 for Ehome. So according to Dota Plus, this game could still go any way. Ehome though, Smoke will get broken. Fade with a very quick blink away. Now they may re-engage. They found Wyman though. Wyman, he can just get blown on. SCCC just jumps in and takes care of it. Now Nothing to Say. He'll start the rocket spam. Do they want to keep going? They got the arena. Get rid of that Tinker straight away. Nothing to Say really does have nothing to say as he does get taken down. They move for more now. Xingqiu should be able to get out of there just fine. But a 2-for-0 trade. you really can't afford to lose your Tinker like that. He was just way too out in the open.
Yeah, it's a rough time for you. You bleed out that lead they build up for themselves. They're going to lose their tier 1 down bots, while not the biggest tower in the world to lose out on still. Aster to be happy with those turn of events. That was the E-Blade reveal from SECC. Put to good use there as well, just immediately blowing up Y on Winter Wyvern. He's got to be a bit careful. A lot of these team fights from Ehome have been set up by Y, if not Q. So the supports have to space themselves out here if they want to take fights, take these defensive measures for their towers as well.
Well, Ehome going to play a little bit safer. They do have a 10-second BKB charge available on Silo, so they may want to make another smoke happen. Try to get a surprise reveal out. Silo may just go into that Sergeant Yasha first. If it is going to be a Sergeant Yasha, but I believe that is going to be the case. He does just hold the Yasha for now.
Are scanning.
Q as well, getting close to that Aghanim Scepter. Just needs about 1.2k on the puck. Once that Ags is up, it's going to be a lot harder for Aster to try and escape these team fights.
Yeah, it's a good build-up from him. He hasn't been out as far forward as our Winter Wyvern, of course, but that does allow him the space to farm this up, and that should turn these fights on their head. You know, the BKB is not going to be doing as much, especially on one. Going to be a bit vulnerable once that item's up. Even SECC, he's just about to finish his own BKB, and that's not going to be worth too much, and at the very least it's going to keep them tied into one spot. Still 1,000 gold away for Sincuda. They're going to have to wait for that before 14 fire.
Bounty killing!
Devo going to be up on Chua, so he's going to be able to really break the distance on that Razor. Ensure he finds the target he wants. More than likely, this will be the troll that he really wants to take down. Yes, Triple C, 10-second BKB charge now available on Morphling. So that Tinker not going to be as much of a problem with these Tinker fights.
Got the Blink Dagger up on Chua as well. You can just jump that backline. A lot of tools available now for Aster before that Ags is up for SimQ, so they smoke up. They want to find some. Unfortunately, no one quite gets in the bot lane.
Are scanning.
They do buy a smoke on the side of Ehome. Bring her left for the Ags. We're going to smoke without it. The thing is, Aster is moving forward. They wanted to fight right here, right now. And they would love to find Sincu before he has enough gold. They're getting closer. Fade, he will D-ward for now, which will indicate that they're around the area.
Oh.
Fade will not get the lift off in time. Game sense there from Sincu to get out of there. Aster continue to move forward though. They're not backing off. They realize they've got a bit of a power spike here with all these BKBs. And they'll start farming up the dire side jungle, just trying to take control of the map. Ehome definitely yet to be ready to fight. But there's that axe coming up.
Yeah, it's going to be hard now that SimQ does have that tool up. I think the key thing for Ehome is that their map is completely dark. Like, compare that to the vision Aster has. They have a lot more information to play with. Whereas Ehome's just basically dark. They've got one ward in their own jungle by their tier 2, that's it.
Is under attack.
Mid lane.
Just
waiting for someone to TP into that mid. Bit hard when it's not to say though. Just blinks away immediately. Aster gonna hold out for a bit longer. They'll go down towards that bot T2 instead.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Sylar meanwhile pushing out the top T2. He does have the full Sergeant Yasha up now.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Ehome, they won't defend the bot T2. They'll let it go down. Just wait for that high ground where they'll spam march the machines. It looks like perhaps even Ehome is starting to set up to try and find a pick-off. Fade may be that pick-off. Fade moving in now.
XFS.
Arena of Blood has been put down. Fade beyond though. He BKB'd up. Aster, are you going to go for this? It looks like neither team really wants to.
Under attack.
those were some pretty big BKB charges to spend. I believe that was the Mars BKB as well, so down to 9 seconds for nothing at all, really. Even the arena drop, although that's a fairly short cooldown now. Still, passive plays from both sides. It's down to the fact that Ehome does not have vision to play as aggressively as they'd like. Aster, they've got a pretty good idea where Ehome is, and they're not going to be looking to force it, I think. They just want to get maybe a bit bigger. Maybe they want to find nothing to say first. Really going to be a nuisance here, because if you take that team fight, Tinker lives on, the side lanes do get shut out, so they're not going to be able to find objectives in that kind of team fight trade, which leads to a much slower game from both sides. They keep to 12, 34 minutes, and just a 1k lead for Ehome. And a lot of that is riding on nothing to say, of course.
He's gonna sight the Vice up now. So catch those carries out without the BKB. He'll just burst him down before he even comes out. Bait. He's gonna steal the Guardian sprint on the Ruby. So both teams very, very cautious to make the first move. Does seem a little bit scary here for Ehome the more time that goes on though. Like, you are still up against the Morphling. Does tend to scale pretty hard in the late game. Say he scales better than the Troll.
Yeah, it's down to, I think the controlling factor here for this fight is how far will SCC's BKB fall and how much can you get from those long duration BKBs? They are posturing.
Stun, fade beyond, gun XXS. Now the Hex comes out. They want to deny that arena straight away. Can they do it though? He's still not down. But Silent pops the BKB, they get it. Now the Winter's Curse straight onto Chuan. They'll waste the BKB charge of Chuan. That'll be it. 1 kill. Everyone backs off.
It's a pretty tight rope situation, right? You don't want to bleed your lead away. Aster 6 time down the bars means they can't force the team fight. Ehome, they expended their BKBs early on there, and they're worried about just getting jumped by the Morphling SCCC with the shotgun. Not quite in to burst down Styler at this point, but that did.
Bait flipped it up. Bait, he downed him. Now they wait for him in, try to shotgun him down. Not going to be there. The kiss is even flying out. Bait, he survives until the end where Chuan comes in, and Baboka will confirm the kill. With that, an immediate smoke up. They still don't have the Mars, but it looks like they want to try and make some sort of play, and it will be the Roshan play that they're looking for as they roam in. Ehome, are they aware? Sinju's going to check again with the orb, and now he will know. They don't have much time. With that corrosive haste from Fade, it does make it a very, very fast Roshan, but the buyback is there. Slava. Now Chuan jumps into the static with the Roshan still so low. Sinju, he does not steal the Aegis and almost gets blown up. Still, they found Chuan and they find Baboka. Now Fade's going to be the target. They'll just hex him up, burst him down with Sylar on the Troll, and that's going to be a double on Sylar. To get anyone else. SCCC is still running away. Ehome, they will not find him. This will allow the T1 mid tower to go down.
It's a costly Roshan coming out for Aster. Again, they forced that out without their Mars, so they had no Arena of Blood. They had no way of really getting the control they needed in that tight spot. And now their tier 3 is going to be under threat. 2 siege creeps, a lot of range creeps. It's going to be a lot of damage onto this objective.
I think that's just the rats.
Oh, SCCC?
SCCC. When he get hexed up, he was strength morphing though, so he'll be okay. They do use the repair kit again, but Sylar, he just attacks way too hard and way too fast. Slowly but surely, XXS though gets the spear up on the Troll. Cold Embrace immediately coming up to Sylar, and now Fate going after Baboka. There's the arena from XXS, but Sylar is not really concerned about that. He gets the ensnare off straight away, and now nothing to say, look to blow him up. SCCC, he found Fate beyond, but they find XXS as a traitor. Now the Dream Core, they found 2 with it. Sylar, he pops the Battle Trance, and he does find the Aegis. Fate going down as well. And with that, they should be able to confirm that Rax, but they actually back out. They'll come back in though, realizing there's no buybacks available on Aster. That'll be the first racks of the game going to the way of Ehome.
And that was Aegis on SCCC, and felt like he didn't really get too much done. They did manage to get the die back on Fate Beyond at the very least. They used their top racks for their trouble. And all the event from that Roche fight just crumbling apart for Aster as a 10k lead now for Ehome. A lot of gold onto Sylar. Just barely behind that Morphling. And this is from a really bad start for Sylar.
They got their Hex off again. SCCC, can you get out of this? You'll be fine.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So Ehome have had enough. They'll be satisfied with that considering how the game started. They find themselves in front by about 10k net worth and 1 racks. There was an outer tower remaining anyway, so they may as well just go clean up that bot tier 2.
Yeah, it's gonna be harder now to fight up against Ehome. You've got that Abyssal up and running on Sylar. So he's just gonna get control up after the Hex as well. It could be hard for SCCC to survive now. And, you know, he died with the Aegis. With this Abyssal up from Sylar, he's really just gonna struggle in the middle of these team fights. He cannot blow up the troll with the shotgun. The damage is just not there. It will disarm at the very least, but I don't think it's enough to stem damage coming out from Sylar.
Doesn't seem that way. Nevertheless, Aster smoke up.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
They
attack.
lose this next team fight though, it could be super bad for them. They don't really have many buybacks left. Ehome seem to be very well aware that something's awry. The outpost does get taken through the smoke. Looks like that's all they wanted. They just wanted that XP. They'll secure the high ground, expecting Ehome to try and take it back. All will go through. Ehome, they will not contest that outpost. They'll let it go for now.
Yeah, smoke faded under the ward as well, so they knew Aster was still clumped up top. Just a nice little drop there from SimQ to give them that information. As we do start to see tier 4 items out as well with that 40-minute mark. And that flicker is going to be very useful here for Ehome. It should allow them to basically save one of their heroes that is on Fate Beyond right now. He's got a lot more to play with. It's not going to be as easy to just burst it down if you're not careful. He's out of stun lock. You can just get out of there.
I don't even know if we'll use the active flicker. That plus 40 movement speed though. On a slider that's already running as fast as you possibly can. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous.
You're just not going to stop a guy at charging sprint. Like, he's just so speedy. Look at him.
Very fast indeed. You get him on the water, and it's really going quick. Aster, what's the game plan? We'll get a magic lamp onto Fade. Not the greatest item in the world, but I guess it helps as Ehome going to move in with the smoke. They do not find the stun on Fade. Dreamcaller as well missing. And with that, Aster, they want to go in now. They'll go after Sylar, they force out that BKB charge. XXS looking for an arena. Has he found one yet? He doesn't have Blink available. Now the curse will come out in Ehome. They just want to leave the building. That was a nice little opening there from Aster, but they just could not capitalize.
Yeah, it's rather unfortunate for both sides, right? Like, they expended BKBs on both of their big cores. They got a nice attack from Aster's end. Onto Sylar, they just have the follow-up to keep him in place. And that will allow both sides to really reset here, although it does look like Aster wants to play on the back of that.
They're on the low ground. Smoke breaks. Sylar, he spots them out. How do they go in? They're going straight after Y on that Wyvern, but no, the Hex comes out. Sylar, he finds Provoker straight off the back. Oh my goodness, they just blew up SCCC. Now the Hex comes out. Mars, he can't do anything. He's a piglet right now. He just goes down. It's Ehome gonna start moving forward. They do have buybacks available this time. But I don't think Ehome's going to be too afraid, especially with Sylar and that BKB, excuse me, the double damage rune that he has active. Not going to be too afraid of the side of Aster.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, that's rough. Like, Sylar just getting blown up immediately to control comes in.
In again, BKB is going to be there for more for rather minutes or more, but they jump in with the battle trance. So much damage from Sylar, but he is strength morphing all the way through it. Sylar now going to be in trouble. Cold Embrace will come out. Meanwhile, they are going to take down XXS, or almost. Still not down yet. Sylar's still going all by himself. Where's his team? They don't come in. Why? He has the curse, but he was just so far away. As why now just wanting to get out of there. He'll use the curse, but he does go down. He may find Baboka as a trade, and he does. So he'll get a dieback at the least. But Ehome just not really there to back up Sylar.
He wasn't pretty work. Like, he went behind those tier trees, and then he got dragged out in a very awkward spot that Ehome could just not gap close in well enough. Still, they are still going to be happy. Like, right, you forced the buyback from SCCC, you forced the buyback out from XXS. The Roche pit is not up and running yet, so there's nothing for Aster to take just yet. Of course, it might be an early Roche. We'll see in about 40 seconds. Still, Ehome, they've got time here. They didn't bleed out too much. Aster going to be happy with a punishment onto Sylar at the very least. But without those buybacks, they're going to have to play very cautiously for the next few minutes.
That they are. When you say cautiously, they are pretty far forward to show some form of aggression. So you're not going to take the arcane route. May come back for it. Perhaps they want to give it to somebody else. More timeless relics to be found.
Dire are scanning.
They will give it over to the Morph. The Roshan going to be another 15 seconds away. They are just slightly early.
Pretty fortunate for Aster to get that early timer as well. They're going to need that Aegis and Cheese to save themselves in the next fight. But again, without the buybacks on their Morph, it's going to be a bit rough.
Oh, as Triple C leaves the pit a second before the Roshan respawns. So he wouldn't have seen it, but they got the Mars Courier there, so they'll spot it out. Problem is, Wise Courier will also be there spotting it out.
My waters rise.
Ehome gonna start roaming around the pit.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Question is, who goes for the Roshan attempt first?
In this situation, Aster wants Ehome to jump in first. They've got the better control for counterfight from Aster. As long as you take Wise, Winter Wyvern out of the equation, that Winter's Curse is the only thing that can really disrupt them in that pit. So Aster's just going to wait it out. Perhaps wait for Ehome to jump in, although it's a patient game from both sides, right? Like, they don't want to commit just yet. Ehome knows what Aster can do in a big team fight. When that Mars ultimate comes out, when Mortimer kisses fly out. At the same time, Aster doesn't want to have to fight into the Winter's Curse.
Radiant's courier has been killed. Radiant's
Success.
courier has been
Oh,
killed.
waiting. Courier goes down for Fade. Ehome will not initiate first. They will wait. We have a bit of a stalemate, as both teams are just waiting for each other.
Ehome with a smoke.
Ehome, they've smoked up, so they're going to go for the wraparound now. If they can find one, it'd be massive.
Oh.
Left jump though, nothing to say. He wasn't smoked, so he shows the top, but Fade, he does blink in. They got the Hex off. XXS, you need to jump in right now. Still no arena. The BKB was there from Fade. They will save Chuan on the Razor. He will be able to get out.
It looks like they just kind of wasted each other's BKBs there. Down to 5 seconds for both our off players. As they are still posturing around each other. Like, the Aster does have the high ground. It's just there's objectives to take. Although, even if they walk up there, it's going to be a spot of trouble.
Radiant's middle tower.
They're going to go mid instead. Just force them to back towards their high ground and defend. Well, Shiva's Gauntlet is going to be there on Sylar. Can they burst him fast enough? Kisses come out as well. Sylar pops the BKB. Glimmer Cape there from Y. That'll be enough. Ehome, back to the Roshan pit it is, as more couriers start flying in.
Oh boy.
So Ehome are going to be the ones to start the Roshan. They're looking for those couriers, and Fade, he does find it. Aster, can you make it in time?
Radiant's
They're
turret
running in.
has been
Fate,
killed.
he'll be the one there with XXS. Roshan again being left as XXS jumps in. Doesn't find anybody, jumps back out.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So much caution from both sides to posture around the approach. We've been here for about, what, 2-3 minutes now? Just not making sure neither side gets that advantage. And Aster, this might buy him enough time to get the buyback. Still 2 minutes left on SCCC, and he won't finally commit.
Silence has committed all his buyback gold to buy a Lincoln Spear. Interesting pick up from him. So plenty of defense available with the BKB Lincolns. Chuan going to start moving in, but Sala is not so much afraid, especially while that march is going on. Very hard to enter the pit. Now Fate jumps in after Chuan. They jump in as well with Sala, but the spear is there from XXS. The other team fight starts, or does it? They want it back, but they've got Sala on the troll. Sala getting lifted up to that high ground. He'll run the other way. Meanwhile, in the back, Fate will be found. They got Chuan on the Razor. They look for more now. Q jumps in. He doesn't have Dream Call available. He tries to orb-bound. SCCC can't get the job done. Now Arena being after the troll. Snapfire kisses coming in. Silence still alive. Well, this with the Glimmer Cave. They get the curse of the Aegis. It's on the deck, and Faith Beyond's the one to pick it up. They want XXS. The Aegis is down once again. Sylar, man fighting Faith, takes him out. XXS goes down as well. Now Baboka will be the target. He's gone. Sylar just shredding them apart. SCCC trying to run away, but Faith Beyond with the control. And never mind that, they've got Chuan once again on the Razor. He's got nowhere to go but down. That's a dieback on the Razor. As mid lane they pace for more, they found the Hex onto SCCC. I don't see him getting out of this one, as they can just permanent Hex him, or maybe they can't. The Lincolns was there. They'll silence him up. They'll take down another in the form of Fate.
Oh, man.
That'll be GG. As Ehome, it looked like a bad start, but the comebacks come out from the Dire side, and Aster, they will drop game number 1.
It looked good for Aster for a very long time. They just gave way too much space to Ehome to come back in. They took their time against the Troll and the Tinker. That did allow them to farm up big enough. Just one bad fight breaking out in that Roche pit, and all kind of fell apart for Aster. Still, a really close match, all things considered. Ehome just managing to find their time there to come back in, and we'll see whether or not Aster does shake it up for game number 2.